Hello everybody, I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian, and welcome to my October What's in Bloom. I have some really interesting plants in bloom this month. As a matter of fact, it's the changing of the seasons from fall to winter, and that means that the orchids are about to pop. So I have dozens of orchids that are about to be in bloom, are in bloom, are expected to be in bloom, so I'm really excited to highlight what I have. So without further ado, let's start off over here. This is my Cattleya Ficon ball. As you can see, still in bloom, and he has 2 flowers right now. Really pretty little guy. And he'll be in bloom. Well, he's been in bloom for about 6 weeks now. You saw him in the last What's in Bloom, and he's still blooming. So really pretty little flower. Up ahead, or above him, is my Dendrobium aberrans. It's starting to fade, some of the flowers, some are still there, but really trusty miniature Dendrobium, and I really love the flowers on this guy. You can see beautiful flowers. And then over here, my Dendrobium Cuthbertsonii hybrid, my Dendrobium Cuthbertsonii by Dendrobium tannii, is still in bloom. These have super long flowers that can last upwards of 6 months. So you can get blooms for a really long time. Alright, let's focus here on some of the new ones that I haven't highlighted in my What's in Bloom yet. Check out this cute little flower here. This is a SLC Candy Sparks Fall Candy Love Fresh Peters Pink. It's a hybrid from Sunset Valley Orchids, and it's a beautiful little mini cattleya. I love this little guy. Blooms here in the fall, and you can see it has slight flashes of red on the tips of the petals, and then of course it's got that beautiful dark red lip. So really stunning mini cat. Behind that, you can see the plant here is my Laelia alvarensis, or alvarengens. Yeah, alvarengens, that's the name. Anywho, here's the flowers. I'll show you them here on the video, and then I'll show you a video of when it had its 4 flowers. Really beautiful little Orpiculus laelia. This is the second time blooming for me. Bloomed in the spring and then bloomed here in the fall. So yeah, about in March, and then it bloomed again here in October. So really wonderful Orpiculus laelia. This is one of my orchids that I'm most excited about. This is a hybrid from Waldor Orchids. Check out these gorgeous blooms. What a beautiful little mini cattleya. This is SLC Deborah Off Mill Pond HCC AOS, and it's a SC Beaufort hybrid. It's got that beautiful red lip right on the edge of the lip, which I love in mini cattleyas. This is a really beautiful plant, and super excited to finally have a division of it in my collection, thanks to my friends at Waldor. Now, this guy over here I'm not going to focus on, but you can see he's got 4 buds. They'll be open in November, so stay tuned as a little teaser for what this absolutely stunning plant looks like. You are going to be amazed. Now, down here, there's not much in bloom. Like I said, a couple plants that are in bud. My Maikai is still in bloom. This is the second set of flowers that it put out, and it's such a pretty plant. I love this Brassia hybrid. How beautiful, Brassavola hybrid, I should say. Really pretty flowers. Wow. I'm so excited to have that in the collection. It just keeps getting better and better. So really wonderful plant. There's not much on this shelf in bloom right now. Lots of new growths, which means soon lots of new flowers. So down here we have some more buds as well of plants that aren't in bloom, but we'll be delivering some flowers soon. But I do have 2 Phalaenopsis that I want to highlight. Of course, this guy from my last video, the Venus pyloric phal, and then this guy, which is my Phalaenopsis Vio cat face, another pyloric Phalaenopsis. As you can see, love my pyloric phals. These both are super fragrant. So if you're looking for a fragrant Phalaenopsis, these are both really awesome plants to consider. So really wonderful couple phals that are in bloom in this season. Okay, now let's go over to the tent that holds my cool growing orchids. I've had some folks ask, Brian, how do you have two different growing conditions? Like, how do you have a cool grow tent and a warm grow tent? Well, the lighting keeps it pretty cool, or keeps it pretty warm during the day. On the cattleyas, they obviously need more light than what's over here. And then, of course, at night, they all have the same drop in temperature, so I still get that. All right, let's start up here with a plant I'm very excited to highlight. This is my Sphaerospermum buxifolium, or a neotropical blueberry. And I finally have a couple blueberries. They actually came out white, which is different than what I was expecting. But they're so cool. I love these little guys. I love this plant so much. And it has a ton of other blueberries that will soon form on this plant. But super cool house plant, orchid friend, growing well in my cool growing grow tent. Now down here, this is my Pleurothallis praecipua. Has one little flower. Check him out. Really cute little flower. Blooms pretty much all year long. Sends up flowers from new growths and old growths alike. So you'll see this flower just came out, and then right there, if you can, there's a tiny bud on the way. So really great plant. Easy to grow. Fantastic Pleurothallis. Alright, here's my Masdevallia Angel Wing Ellen. This guy is, Angel Heart Ellen. Sorry, Masdevallia Angel Heart Ellen. Still in bloom. One flower remaining. Got another spike on the way. And this guy's been blooming for quite some time. So, seems pretty happy. One of the more warmth-tolerant Masdevallias. So, really wonderful plant. Now over here, I wanted to go over here and highlight this little bunch of flowers. This guy I've had for a little while. This is his second blooming season. He blooms now and then a ton in the spring. But I'll put the name of the plant on screen now. I'm not going to try to butcher it for you all, but what a cool little flower. Really sweet. And the plant, obviously, as you can see here, is fully a specimen plant now. But love when this guy gives me some flowers. Another Masdevallia that I recently added to my collection is Masdevallia constricta. Look at these weird flowers. Almost like Siphonantha. Has a nice, like, hairy inner lip here. Has a, I guess inside the flower, has these really cool hairs with a deep yellow, so sunflower yellow on the inside, and these super long, like, petals hanging from the top. I don't know what they're called, sepals maybe, not sure. Really cool Masdevallia. Grows intermediate and seems to be growing well. It's got another spike on the way, so really great. Okay, over here, this guy's not in bloom right yet. Well, I guess not in bloom while I'm filming this video, but it was in bloom earlier in the month. So this is Restrepia nidiorinca. Super unique little flower. Has these cuppy Restrepia flowers. They're very small, but super delicate and adorable, and I love how different they are from typical Restrepia flowers. Now down here is my Restrepia royai. Of course, I've had him for a while. He's bloomed pretty consistently. He's about to have a pretty big flush of flowers here with about 4 flowers about to open around the same time. So really nice plant. Easy to grow Restrepia. Does not like a lot of light. It will show its dark red colors if it does get too much light. So keep that in mind. Now this is one of the larger growing Restrepias. This is Restrepia chameleon. And you can see I have some flowers on this guy. I'll highlight those. It is a really cool plant because of these darker colored leaves. I'm pretty sure that's characteristic of the plant, not necessarily just the fact that it might have had a little extra light than it loves. But nonetheless, it's a super pretty Restrepia, and of course, I love my Restrepias. They're so wonderful. Alright. Down here I have my Pleurothallis viduata. It is growing like crazy, and it has adorable little flowers. It's got a bunch of flowers coming. So this is another one that blooms similar to Praesipoa that just keeps on blooming. So wonderful larger Pleurothallis if you like constantly blooming mini flowers like this. So really nice. Alright, over here is my Lepanthes barbalifera crossed with Lepanthes caledictian. You can see this guy is in flower right now. You can see the little flowers there. These are really, really hard to highlight. They are so small. But the real show-stopping piece of this plant is, of course, its leaves. So, really, really cool leaves. And it's growing pretty well. At first I got worried. It is sensitive to water, so when I travel, it does not like its roots being in water. I've realized that some plants are a little bit more forgiving. This one is not, but I did just buy a misting system for this particular grow tent that I'm going to be talking about in another video that I'm excited to see how it functions when I'm on travel. So, for those of you who travel like me, need something to help keep your plants moist and watered, we'll see how a misting system holds up. Okay, so this is my Pleurothallis mistax, or now I think it's Stellus mistax. Check out all the flowers on this guy. He is blooming like crazy. Definitely happy, adorable little flower, and it just keeps blooming off of the same stem, and it seems to be sequential. I tend to get multiple flowers off the same stem of a previous flower, so pretty cool. I like this plant a lot. So hopefully you can appreciate the flowers on this guy. They are small and hard to capture because of their dark color, but really cool. Love this little plant. Okay, let's keep on going. I have my Pleurothallis dorthiae, and that plant is also in blooms still. It's relatively new, so don't know a ton about whether or not it'll constantly flower. I'm guessing it will. Most of these Pleurothallis do, which is what I love about them, is you're almost always going to have something in bloom in your grow tent if you have some Pleurothallis. So, and they're really forgiving, super easy to grow. I use clean water, and then, of course, keep them in a shaded environment, and they seem to flower and grow like crazy. Really, really cool. All right. Over here is my Pleurothallis dodsonii. I have highlighted this guy in the past, not very much, but I have once, and check out the flower in here. They're very subtle flowers. If you're not looking for them, you'd never see them, but they are such wonderful little plants, and it's growing like crazy, wrapping around this log, so excited for it to grow to be a true specimen. And now over here, you can see I have shifted my grow tent around a little bit, mostly anticipating that misting system, but these are my Dendrobium levifolium area now, or where I'll keep those types of plants. So I have the traditional pink levifolium up there. You can see the flower looks very much like Cuthbertsonii, a little bit bigger of a plant, but the pink is super pretty. And then down here is Levifolium aureum, which is the like yellow, pale, white kind of color of the flower. So really, really cool plants. Love these guys. They have long-lasting flowers. They're actually lower light plants, so we'll see how they do in the collection. Excited about that. Recently added them from my trip to Ch&L. All right, check out this guy. This is my Masdevallia discoida. It is another plant that seems to bloom all the time, and it has these super odd flowers. It's blooming like crazy. It's bloomed as you can see, many flowers out of the same area. So it must like my conditions. It's definitely warmth tolerant, definitely easier to grow for Masdevallias. So I know some folks have had difficulty, but I'd say that there is hope for you if you like Masdevallias. All right. This is my Phalaenopsis schilleriana. It is a long-lasting blooming Phalaenopsis with a super wonderful fragrance. The fragrance on this Phalaenopsis is really strong. You can smell it all throughout the grow tent. So it is a great plant to add to your collection if you like phals and you like these unique kind of mottled leaves. Definitely consider it. So, all right here is my Bulbophyllum gracillimum. It is in bloom. It's sending up another spike, as you can see there. This is its blooming season, and I did have a flower spike that was open. I'll cut to that video here, but what a wild-looking, almost spider-like flower on Bulbophyllum gracillimum. Really wonderful plant. I love this Bulbophyllum. It's one of my favorites. Just such a unique flower. When I saw it, when I first purchased it, I was like, oh, I have to have that. And this is another one that I also had to have. Another species Bulbophyllum. This is Bulbophyllum putidum. It is one of the worst smelling Bulbophyllums in my entire collection. This thing smells like, I don't even know, like fish and dirty socks. It is absolutely disgusting. But look at that flower. How can you not love that little flower? I mean, it makes up for it. So, really wonderful plant. If you love Bulbophyllums, it only smells if you're really up close or you're within its vicinity. This one does actually smell pretty close by. So, really wonderful, stinky Bulbophyllum, but great flowers. All right, everybody, that's going to conclude my October What's in Bloom Orchid Collection update. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of my subscribers and those fans leaving comments and engaging with me here on YouTube. I'm excited to put together some more videos. It's almost show season, so stay tuned. I'll be attending quite a few shows this year and a few special surprises. So you'll want to stay tuned. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian. This has been my October Orchid Collection update. I'll see you in the next video.